Yeah, that'll
Catch
fill
Red
it up.
Raiders.
It's good, not much good.
Those are Red Raiders too.
Okay, not the same, not the where I was thinking.
That's one of the,
Come on, Tom.
there's open left and
Oh,
open right
he
valves.
is now.
There's
Yeah, he goes
open
right
right
through.
valves. On Uniontown, we say right on Red River. That's
Helped
how
out,
Uniontown and the Collinsville ones. Because the Collinsville ones are backwards.
Fire truck.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't know him.
Yeah, no, he's good individual.
I don't know, so we'll find out.
I try. Not always, but I try.
Ready to go?
Right.
Ready to go? Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the City of Uniontown Special Council meeting of November 16th, 2023 to order at 5 p.m. Roll call.
Mr. Billy?
Here.
Mr. Vasaki?
Here.
Mr. Winfrey?
Here.
Mr. Shuhon?
Here?
Mayor Gurke?
Here. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Comments on agenda items only. There's no comments? I got one. Oh, take the podium and state your name and... Yes.
I just got a question. I was trying to run through the budget real quick, and it's a lot to digest here in 5 minutes, and there's a minute, but, do you guys have a line item to replace the funds that you lost when you lost the grant money, or are we just gonna defer all that public works stuff?
Sorry.
That's the question. Is there something in the budget here to take care of the public works stuff that was going to be done with all the grant money you guys don't have, or are you just going to have to defer the work?
I'm not understanding the question.
Well, it's my understanding you lost several $100,000 of state funds that could have come in, but obviously would have been allocated to something. And when you don't have it, I'm questioning, are you guys just going to defer the work?
So are you referring to lost revenues, lost grant revenues?
Yes.
Through the redevelopment authority, that's a separate entity.
Okay, so that's not going to be in this budget at all?
No, because that money was not allocated. We did not get awarded that particular grant.
Okay.
If we can go back to that, and the solicitor will correct me if I'm wrong, that all was, it was failure on the city's part to be able to properly manage the application.
Yeah, that's correct. And I don't believe historically that the city's CDBG money has ever been reflected in the city's budget.
Okay.
Because that's administered by the redevelopment authority itself.
Okay. I wasn't sure what the funds were to be used for. That, when you're telling me it's CDBG money.
Those are if the ones you're referring to is approximately the 300,000 that normally the city would receive, those would be the CDBG funds. Yes.
Is there a particular line item that you're referring to in the draft of our budget that we're getting ready to propose?
Well, I was wondering. I've gotten about 4 pages into this, about all this. a lot more. I was just referring, I was not aware of the fact that it was money that was going through the redevelopment authority to be used in the city. Okay, which is what you're telling me. Okay, so what you're telling me is
So-
that money would not be reflected in these documents.
So if there's any grant funding that comes in through the city, that will be shown as revenue in a line item. And if it's something that we're not projecting to get, and we will add a line item and it will reflect further in next year's profit loss.
Okay, yeah, I understand. That I understand. I wasn't aware that it was community grant money. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I wasn't aware that it was redevelopment authority grant money.
Well, the CDBG funds come through the city. It's the agent, but we have a representative that handles those funds, and we're in agreement with the redevelopment authority to do so. The city previously did have an arrangement where they were operating those monies, those grant funds internally, and that position was vacated, and within this budget, those funds were part of funds that are going to go up to the redevelopment authority to help raise revenue and sustain their offices so we can help them build, which is, a two-handed approach to this, which, where this was something that was adopted and enacted by the city, which does produce some projected revenue that we've had shortfalls on. And what we've decided to do, and with support with the mayor, with this, is those funds go upstairs to help grow revenue and grow them upstairs, and in hand that helps the city tremendously with the redevelopment projects that we plan on doing here in the very near short future. Next year, 24, is going to be an extremely busy year for us, and now that you're up and you're talking about grant money, and where I thought you were going to go with it, Gary, was the ARPA money that the city still has. And the city was allotted 2 years of grant funding. That money will be moved over next year into the general fund, so we can spend that money down properly, so we don't lose that money, and that money goes back. And we have $824,000, a little over $824,000 that we have. Last time I looked at the bank account. So that money, what we're going to do with that money next year, very quickly, we're gonna allocate that into the general fund, and we're going to properly spend that down on projects that we're already planning on doing. That way, the whole purpose is that we fully are able to use that money appropriately, and we don't have to send that back. I don't plan on using this money for any, hey, one day we need this. That money is going to be money that we're going to spend properly, that we're already have in course to be spending. In the budget, we have $100,000 that's allocated in the building and grounds, and that's for a roof for the city, which I was against this year's spending, and I think it was a wise decision to hold on to those funds at the end. We're showing some retained revenue that's moving over. That'll be able to be properly spent as well. So I hope I gave you a really long answer.
Well, I follow up a question to this. Are you planning capital projects with that, or
Yes.
they're
Yes.
all going to be
Right.
capital improvement
Yes,
projects?
absolutely. Right now, through the sewage and transportation work group that we have with the redevelopment authority, we and members, the mayor's involved with that, and occasionally the public works director, council person attends those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What we're working on in the very near future is a very large grant, and this is going to be for sewage infrastructure, which is going to help maintain a very positive vibe with the DEP. And this is something that we're striving in my next 2 years, is what I'm going to be striving very aggressively for. And I think you'll see that this next year coming up, there's going to be some aggressive moves and things in directions that a lot of people aren't going to be prepared for, and maybe want to go in that direction. But I think that coming back on council and for 2 years and seeing what has gone on, I really feel that in my next 2 years, what I need to make sure is that we properly spend this money, do the proper projects, and that we plan for 10, 20 years in the future with this money, and it has to be spent this year. So, and please keep coming back and follow up on me, make sure that happens, is we need the public input and support for that to make sure that we're actually spending this money for the proper things and just not willy-nilly. Fayette EMS, I met with Fayette EMS earlier in the week. They have been going around to all the municipalities and looking for ways to help fund their budget deficit. And I think it's, I want to say this, and this goes out to all the municipalities. I want all the municipalities to jump on board with support for Fayette EMS. And, and the reason I'm saying this is because previously the city of Uniontown ran an ambulance service. And this is way before I was there, so I can't really speak on why it dissolved. But, here's an opportunity, and, they're a big player. They're a big player for Uniontown, South Union, North Union. They do 100% of the coverage. And looking back at some numbers they presented, 1 month in the summer, they did over 900 calls, and it was all in the city. And, this is something that I feel that if we don't jump on board and help out, and that's where this, some of these extra funds can help out in that area. But yeah, I don't know, really long answers here. I don't even know, maybe I went way off of what you were even asking.
No, that's good. I didn't think you were running for re-election tomorrow, but that's okay.
No, I got 2 years.
No, actually, I know why the Fayette EMS, I know why we lost EMS. My wife
Yeah.
used to be Director of Trauma Services at UPMC, so catch me sometime. I'll be happy to
Sounds good. I'm
fill you in as to why it happened.
keep on coming back.
Thanks.
Any other comments on agenda items only? If not, that's all I have.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to introduce Bill Number 1771, proposed ordinance Number 1751, an ordinance of the City of Uniontown, Fayette County, Pennsylvania, showing the estimated receipts, expenditures, and liabilities of every kind of all the funds for fiscal year 2024, with the balance of unexpended appropriations as the basis for fixing the levy and tax rate for said fiscal year, appropriating and authorizing expenditures of the various amounts shown as proposed, expenditures herein for the expenses of the city for said fiscal year from the revenue available for said fiscal year for the departments and specific purposes set forth herein, and the repealing of all ordinances or parts of ordinances inconsistent herewith, and to direct the city clerk to advertise appropriate notice of intention to adopt said proposed ordinance at a special meeting of City Council on December 18, 2023. A full and complete copy of the text of said ordinance number 1751 is available for public inspection in the office of the city clerk. Mr. Billy?
So we were able to effectively hold the line on our budget and not overspend. And where we have in previous years had deficits, we were able to have some retained revenues. We're going to maintain the rate, the millage rate. We're not going to have any tax increase. After this year, if we spend wisely in the future for next year, after this next year, the city will be looking good. Okay, these funds that we're going to have, those future funds have to be used for infrastructure. We have got to redevelop. We have got to build our tax base, and that's the only way we can do it, is if we redevelop. But before we do the neighborhood development, we need to go underground and we need to do the infrastructure work first. And that's where, I would like to use a lot of those funds that we have available that we could do the match. And again, I'll say, go back to moving those funds, the unrestricted funds, and using them for the purposes that we can. It is unrestricted, and and the solicitor has advised me that there are some limitations. None of those limitations we're going to cross paths with. So, and I think that it's a very it's a great opportunity for the city. We have got to be serious next year and not spend. I don't want to say stupidly, but we have got to spend efficiently. So, and I'm going to vote yes.
Mr. Vasaki?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes, we also have to keep in mind that we do have a universal comprehensive plan, and there's actions that need to be focused on also and be continuing to work on and be at, so.
And I agree 100% with the councilman, and this is something that, I hope that here next year, and, I know you're stepping away, but I hope that you're able to still come back and be a big part of those focus groups. The plan we need to start, the plan that was presented by Gibson Thomas, is a great guideline, I guess you should say, maybe. There are recommendations in there that we should quickly try to do. And everyone will hear me talk more about that in the very near future.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to introduce Bill Number 1772, proposed ordinance Number 1752, an ordinance of the City of Uniontown, County of Fayette, and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, fixing the salaries payable by the City of Uniontown for the various positions enumerated herein for the fiscal year 2024, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances inconsistent herewith, and that the amount hereinafter set forth opposite the positions hereinafter enumerated be and the same are hereby fixed as the salaries payable for said positions by the city for the fiscal year 2024. And to direct the city clerk to advertise appropriate notice of intention to adopt said proposed ordinance at a special meeting of City Council on December 18, 2023. Mr. Vasaki?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to introduce Bill Number 1773, proposed ordinance Number 1753, an ordinance of the City of Uniontown, County of Fayette, and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, fixing the real estate tax rate for all city purposes for the fiscal year 2024, and repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances inconsistent herewith. Section 1, that a tax be and the same is hereby levied on all real property within the city subject to taxation for city purposes indicated herein for fiscal year 2024, and the computation of real estate tax levy is attached hereto and labeled Exhibit A as follows. A, for recreation purposes, the sum of .3055 mils on each dollar assessed valuation, or .03055 cents per $100 of assessed valuation. For library purposes, the sum of .7657 mils of each dollar of assessed valuation, .07657 cents per $100 of assessed valuation. For general purposes, the sum of 11.9288 mils on each dollar assessed valuation, or $1.19 per $100 of assessed valuation, reflecting no increase in the tax levy, 13 mils for 2024, and to direct the city clerk to advertise appropriate notice of intention to adopt said proposed ordinance at special meeting of council on December 18, 2023. Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Vasaki?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to enter into terms of engagement with Beer Ream Company, certified public accountants, with the City of Uniontown to provide accounting assistance in adjusting the book of accounts with the objective to be able to prepare a working trial balance from which financial statements can be prepared for year-end 12/31/22. Their staff rates range from $55 to $165 per hour, with the majority of services provided at a rate of $75 to $105 per hour at an estimated 110 to 160 hours of time. Mr. Shuhon?
Is this over and above what McClure and Wolf does for us?
These are fee accountants that come in to close the books every year.
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Vasaki?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to appoint Leroy Townsend and Jeremiah Farrell Sr. to the City of Uniontown Parks and Recreation Board with the following 5-year staggered terms. Leroy Townsend, October 6, 2023 through October 5, 2025. Jeremiah Farrell, October 6, 2023 through October 5, 2024. Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Vasaki?
It's exciting to see some interest in this already. This makes me happy, so, yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes, and I thank both these gentlemen for coming on board.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to appoint Nicole Heimbaugh to the Uniontown Downtown Business District Authority to fill the unexpired 5-year term of Caleb McLusack, term to expire December 31, 2023. Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Vasaki?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes,
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to hire Tyler Faulkman to the full-time position of Public Works Employee 1 in the Sanitary Sewage Department for a 6-month probationary period beginning November 20, 2023, with health benefits beginning after 90 days. Salary for said position is $17.47 per hour. Mr. Vasaki?
I've been saying forever that we're shorthanded. It's good to finally be able to get some people on board. Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
yes, I also am thankful that we're trying to get John more help, which he needs in that department. Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to hire Deborah Brown as part-time sewage clerk for up to 29 hours per week for a 6-month probationary period beginning November 27, 2023. The salary for said position is $13.50 per hour. Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes,
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Vasaki?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
that'll give them some extra help, which they need in that office also.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to
Right.
hire Catherine Shuhon as part-time clerk in the Office of Accounts and Finance for up to 29 hours per week for a 6-month probationary period beginning November 20th, 2023. The salary for said position is $13.50 per hour. Mr. Shuhon?
I abstain from the vote.
And just as a point of order on there, Councilman Shuhon, if you could just note for the meeting minutes, the basis for your abstention, just the
Oh.
reason why you abstained.
Okay, the reason why I'm abstaining is this is my daughter, and the person that formerly that was going to be hired for this position ended up not taking the position, and I believe she was the next one in line, so that's why I'm abstaining.
Mr. Billy?
No.
Mr. Vasaki?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
That's all I have here.
Okay, thank you. Public comment? I'll keep it to 3 minutes. If we have any public comment, we will take the podium. Yes, sir. State your name, please. Sure.
My name's Mike Auble. I am your newly elected district attorney. I just wanted, thank you. Just wanted to come by and introduce myself. I believe I know most of you folks, and I've talked to you, but I have an open door when I take office, or even before. If you guys have any ideas you want to bounce off of me or anything, any questions, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other public comment this evening? If not, that's all I have.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown, the council hereby adjourned to meet December 7, 2023 at 5 p.m. Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Vasaki?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes. Thank you all for attending.